We tested the DJI Neo the other day in some pretty favourable conditions, so I thought we'd give it a go in a little bit of wind. So we've had a pretty big storm overnight. It's still blowing a bit of a hoolie today, as you can possibly hear through the trees. So we're going to test the Neo out. It's all in automatic mode. We're not going to connect to the phone at all. We're just going to go with the inbuilt modes in the drone. So first test we're going to do just a standard run through the woods. It's fairly sheltered in the trees, but we are catching the odd gust. So let's see how it goes.
Follow, 3, 2, 1.
We've got the drone set to far and the height is flat. We had problems last week with the drone flying into trees because it was too high, and then it was hitting bushes when we set it too low. So probably the best compromise is to use the flat setting, and with that setting the drone will remain around head height. We're feeling quite a bit of wind now, and I can still hear the drone behind. Let's see if it'll come into land. Well done. So that's test one. Pretty decent test. And we're going to run down to the downhill section and give it a test there as we come out into the open. I've left the big bum bag at home and I've just got my little race belt on. It's a much more streamlined way of carrying the drone when we're out and about. And as long as I don't need to carry too much stuff in addition, we can see it just slots in. And with my jacket over the top, it keeps the drone safe from the rain. It is in a waterproof pouch as well. So let's go. I think the rain's even stopped, but we'll go and have a little run over the field and let's see how the drone flies. Right, so this is about as open as we'll get round here. We're on the football pitches, and what I'll do, we'll start off with another tracking clip, and I'll just run in a straight line down the football field, go round the posts, and then we'll come straight back to the same point. I'll leave the camera set up here so you can see how the drone follows. Let's just turn it around a little bit. And this is very much a crosswind. The wind's coming directly from the side.
Follow, 3, 2, 1.
There we go, and it came to land. So let's go over onto the other side of the field and let's do another test. It started to rain again, but it's only spitting. Let's see if we can keep the drone flying in this. So we're going to change modes now. We're going to set the drone to a circle position.
Droney, circle. 6 meters, circle, 3, 2, 1.
So again, this is one of the presets. The drone will fly out to 6 meters and then it'll perform a 360-degree circle It'll be very interesting to see the footage. It's really struggling in that wind. And here we go, let's see if it come in. The last time we tried the circle mode, it went straight into a bush and it took us an hour to find it. So we've come and done it in the open field. It's coming in, it's doing okay. You can see it's struggling. There we go, I had to grab it there, it was trying to fly off again. That was the problem I had the other day when it was coming into land. The drone would get to within a couple of feet, but every time I put my hand underneath it, it would take off a little bit higher. So we just got one more test to do. That's going to be the tracking feature, where we'll set the drone to fly in front and hopefully it will be able to maintain position and accuracy. I think we've got another rain squall coming in shortly. It's getting a little bit darker over there. So let's have a jog over to where we're going to do the next test. The Neo has 6 presets, 5 of them are embedded into the drone, and the 6th one is a custom preset that you can allocate to a number of different functions. I've got this set in the tracking function, so whichever orientation the drone takes off in, it should continue to track the subject in that orientation. So we'll try it in a straightforward tracking mode.
Spotlight, direction track.
So that's direction track, which is my preset.
Far, direction track. 3, 2, 1.
Right, go on, off you go. So we've got it set to the furthest distance, which should be around 6 meters. So as we go past this tree, we're going to hit the open wind again. And it is veering off to the right slightly. You can see it's angled at about 45 degrees to compensate for that wind. And it is blowing out slightly. So let's bring it back in. I'm not sure how usable this footage is. And because it's blowing around all over the place, it's very reluctant to come back. Here it comes. So I just grabbed it then, and when you flip it over, it cuts out the motors. So, and again, a good way of retrieving a rogue drone. It came in to land really well. It spotted that I'd stopped, but when it got to within a few centimeters, it decided to stabilize and to hover further. So I just had a little quick grab of it, flipped it over, and then it turned the motors off. This is very windy now, so what we'll do, let's do one more tracking. Or one more follow me, and we'll go back that way, which is probably the windiest it's been, and we'll go into the headwind to see how well it tracks.
Far, follow, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, so that took off straight away. Come on. I think the problem with high wind usage is when it's tracking, it will blow. And I think we've lost it there. It's probably just lost me there. It could be because it's a little bit gloomy. Let's see if it catches. You come in. No, didn't want to follow there. It is going very dull now. So it could be the low light which is causing the issue. Let's have one more go, and then we'll wrap it up for today. So exactly the same setting.
3, 2, unable to take off, aircraft in motion.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing the drone on my hand.
Far, follow, 3, 2.
So straight away again, it's going off. Is it going to follow? Come on, let's go. Poor little thing. But I can hear it following me. And now we're in a little bit of shelter from the wind because of these trees. Right, let's take it all the way back out onto the field and we'll run the battery down. When the drone's operating in windy conditions, you will get significantly lower battery life because of the amount of work the drone has to do to remain stable. Brilliant. Well, we've still got a couple of bars left on the battery, but we've got another bit of rain coming in, so I think we'll call it a day for the drone footage and we'll get this run finished. There we go. So that shows how windy it is. I'm going to have to put my foot on the tripod to keep it from blowing over. Right, let's go. Come on, Missy, over this way. So what do you think? Is that footage usable? I have no intentions of using the drone on a regular basis in these kinds of conditions, but it's good to know that it can at least cope with some wind. I think if we were up on the high ground, maybe in the mountains, it would be a different story, but so far it seems to be coping with pretty much anything I can throw at it. So there you have it, the DJI Neo drone tested in some pretty extreme wind conditions. So if you like this type of content, why don't you consider subscribing? I'm not a tech reviewer, but I will talk about the equipment and the technology I use while I'm filming my running vlogs, and if it helps people make more informed choices, then that's great. Don't forget to hit the like and comment if you've got any questions. But for now, my name's Paul, and that was Paul Runs Daily.